Hello, my name is Katie Meyers. I am your child's sports officiating teacher for this semester. I know this is a very unique start to a school year that we have not experienced in our lifetimes. However, I want to let you know that it's our attempt to make the most of this experience and to let you know that I am working very hard to deliver some valuable information that your son or daughter will take away from the course and feel really good about. So I'm going to take just a few minutes to share a little bit about myself and then share just a little bit about the course. So I'm Katie Meyers, as I said earlier. This is my 15th year at LT, well, 15th year teaching, 14th at LT, and I'm actually a graduate of LT, class of 1999. Very proud of my journey as a student and now as a staff member. I often joke with colleagues and students that my blood bleeds blue and gold. I'm a former college basketball player. I was obsessed with the sport. I still dearly love it. But believe it or not, I play very competitive volleyball nowadays, and I was not even a volleyball athlete when I was younger. So it's a sport I picked up as I aged. Currently, I coach boys volleyball at the freshman level, and I'm also a winter athletic supervisor. A little bit more about me. I teach not just sports officiating, but I also teach self-defense for females. I have often taught weight training and exercise physiology. All courses I've been very, very proud of and passionate about. Sports officiating holds a special place in my heart because of the fact that I am a self-proclaimed jock. I love playing games. I love sports. I love learning about them, and I love teaching them. That is not why I'm a PE teacher, though. I teach for wellness and health and fitness and everything from the mental health components to the emotional health components. In my spare time, I enjoy moving. That doesn't mean I'm sprinting and playing sports and running all the time. I love gardening. I love simple things like swinging in my hammock and reading a book. That's my way of coping with these times. I hike, I kayak, play volleyball, as I said. If it involves movement, I like it. The picture is me at Payless Forest Reserves on my fat tire bike. And I was just messing around, exploring the areas, and just really, really enjoy nature. Okay, and last but not least about me, I love my family, as most of us do, and I try to spend as much time with them as possible. So a general overview of the class. So we have 3 units in sports officiating, a little bit different than our other junior senior PE tracks. But it's about officiating from a basic level, a general understanding of the rules of the game. And at the end of it, students should feel good about understanding exactly what a ref is doing while they watch them perform a really tough job. And they learn how difficult it is through this class. But we try to make it stress-free, comfortable, judgment-free, because we know everyone's in a different space and place with their knowledge of sports and comfort putting themselves out there. So what we focus on are the application of rules. How do we dictate? How do we move on the field, on the court? What does our stature look like? Right now we're working on signals. What does a quality official look like when they're making a signal call with their hands, with their body language, and with their dictation? And then, of course, something that we don't necessarily think of when we think about a sports officiating class, but conflict resolution. Sports are emotional. There is going to be someone who questions you every single game, multiple times a game or event. And so knowing how to deal with that discomfort of people disagreeing with you. We'll also provide different activities such as cardiovascular endurance activities, muscular strength and endurance, oftentimes with the resources you have at home during the pandemic. At school, we have a little more flexibility with that, but we will make the most of what we can do with our bodies in the space that we're provided at home. And flexibility. This will include lessons on our live sessions and our lessons in our asynchronous sessions, meaning when we're not on the live Zoom call on our every other day. Assessments, we'll do entrance and exit slips regularly, whether it's assessing how they're feeling or what they learned throughout the day so they can recite what we talked about in the live sessions, or evaluating the play, breaking it down via videos. We will use video footage a lot, as most officials, even in non-pandemic times, really link on to evaluating themselves and others by watching videos of officials. So this is a screenshot of one of the asynchronous components, a very large one. They just received a fitness portfolio on their last asynchronous stay. And this is where they'll create a goal for themselves. So it's very individualized, and they'll work through a plan through these times of remote learning. And they'll end up screenshotting their workouts with whatever tool they use and choose for their workout of the day. You'll see the screenshots are here. These are different apps that are available. We'll recommend things like Runkeeper, MyFitnessPal. There's so many out there. Huddle. There are a lot of things students can use to really meet their needs for fitness and maybe catch their interest. For me though, I'd get rid of the technology and just go out there and work, but we want to support the learning whatever way they need. All right, so the general grading practices. So this class is an A through F course, meaning we're not using percentages. We're using marks only. I know that you're all familiar with what A's through F's mean, but we will give summative assessments on workouts, on exams, on signal tests, and on their journaling that will tell us that they understand the learning objectives or the learning targets for the day. The skills, the technique, and participation is always encouraged, and I will communicate how they're doing in those categories, but those grades will not be held against them for their final semester coursework grade. And we'll follow through on updating grades for the regular LT cycle, the mid-quarter, the quarter point, and the mid-second quarter, and then the final semester point. I'll update more often than that. More often than that, I'm always on there putting in progress grades, but we send out the grades with the regular LT cycle and schedule. So the remote learning experience is hard. I acknowledge that with my students. This is not easy for any of us. I am again assuring you that I am working very hard to make this a valuable experience for your son or daughter. We find out that we're going to make mistakes along the way, and hopefully we will fix them. I definitely intend on doing that, but I want your son or daughter to know that we let them feel included and supported and valued and challenged, just like they would in person. In fact, in a lot of ways, I think this will be even more challenging for your son or daughter. And then some of the skills that aren't tangible, like resiliency and persistence and coping mechanisms that are learned through this will be really valuable tools that I hope that they can carry throughout their lifetime in this really unprecedented and historical time. So this is our team. So you can see I'm on the left, and Ms. Hutchins, Megan Hutchins, is on the right. She's a new teacher in sports officiating. I've been doing this for several years. Me and a retired teacher started the course and have been really excited. It's gained a lot of speed. A lot of other schools have reached out to us to try to incorporate an officiating class in their school because the demand is so high, the jobs are endless, and I also talk about those things in class. Where can we get a job? Do we need a certification? Because they're not getting the certification in this class. Instead, they're learning the tools so they feel confident to go out and seek that certification if they want, or seek jobs. And I often will send emails to you and your son or daughter to say, hey, I have a lead at, for example, Pleasantville Park, needs some soccer officials, or the CPCFRO, the elementary organization has a need for basketball officials or volleyball officials, and there's some good money making opportunities for your son or daughter, and it's a great way to stay close to sports we love. Ms. Hutchins is super excited to be a part of our team and sharing this knowledge. She and I both share a strong basketball knowledge. I have a very strong volleyball knowledge now, being a coach for longer than I've been a basketball coach, and you know, I'm catching up to my basketball experience with my volleyball, but she also has a strong softball background as well. Soccer is our freshest sport, but I've learned a lot about it over the last decade, and hopefully I can teach your son or daughter something about that as well. Thank you for everything. I really appreciate you listening. I know that I stumble here and there with my Zoom calls, so thank you for your patience with that. I'm looking forward to a really, really good semester, and even more so, I'm looking forward to seeing your son or daughter in person. I want to hug them all. Don't worry, I won't. But this is something we're going to celebrate big time once we're out of it. And thank you for your support through all this. Please don't hesitate to reach out to me or even Megan if I am for some reason not available. I should be, but we're here for you. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.